Ugh, I hope the quality is good because this stabilizer is so sick. Oh, but I'm not really understanding how to use it.
How does it work?
Here we go, here we go.
Look at these mountains.
Oh,
really
it's
good.
sort of okay.
Pretty bumpy.
Yeah, it's bumpy. It's like inevitably bumpy.
Can you rotate it?
So it's okay.
I can like rotate it like this. That's pretty cool, right?
Wow. That's how much is that?
I think it was like $50.
Oh, that sounds
Thanks for the great Spanish reminder. You're surely welcome.
Oh, there's people?
Oh yeah, we've got 42.
Whoa, what's up, guys?
This is Periscope.
Hey.
This is not YouTube Live.
Yeah, what?
Mesa's table in Portuguese too.
Wow.
What?
Portuguese
Where are you
is
guys
the most
located?
beautiful language. Shout out to everyone.
I like the new white shirts this year. Thank you. Oops.
Do people like Periscope again? Is it okay if we
No.
don't do YouTube Live?
I think it's just like way worse quality, but it's like.
I mean, this is all we have. Like, we don't want to give all of our information to Google, do we?
They bet you some information.
Yeah. And like, no one gets alerted
Quality
when you start
good.
the YouTube
Cool.
Live.
Really? Ready, Harold? Wait for it. Wait for it. Boom. We're in the back seat.
Wow. We're heading to Mesa, Arizona.
Yeah, we're heading to Mesa.
People.
We did switch to YouTube Live for one session because we got complaints of Periscope, but then it was like just really difficult to handle.
But then Periscope was so upset we left that they improved the quality.
That's right. Periscope contacted us, so thank you, Periscope reps. We're back.
Yeah.
You just have to subscribe on YouTube. I know, but it's a lot to ask people to subscribe to YouTube, and like,
Yeah, and, like-
Comma's really into Periscope for some reason, so
And like, what do we call the people that watch YouTube Lives?
Are y'all
Liveys.
developers?
AI
Yeah.
developers, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like AI.
Yeah, Harold
Yeah.
has a new scheme for creating general
Ricardo, put
AI.
your hands up.
Put your hands up for the picture.
Yes.
There's the police.
Oh, there's the police.
Ooh, highway
Shoot.
patrol.
Oh, we just saw a car that was on fire, you guys.
Yeah, it was on fire.
It was really intense.
Any questions
This
out there?
stabilizer is so good.
What's going on the scope?
Yeah, what's going on? We have
Well-
speed limits. Do you know about this?
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
one
there's
study
speed
developed.
limits.
So must knows, yeah.
Super cool.
Most people have
You
it.
know when you're speeding now. Oh, look at that.
We're coming from Burbank. We were
Yeah,
at
we're
the
coming
Burbank
from Burbank.
Makerspace. That was cool.
Shout out to Burbank.
We sold a lot of t-shirts and an Eon, a few Eons.
Yeah, we
Eons.
sold.
Eons.
Yeah, we sold.
Some white pandas.
Oh, Lord, sorry. See, the problem with this, if you like destabilize for 1 second, it freaks out.
Why does it do?
I don't know.
It's some unstable controls. You think they use NPC Rico?
How come doesn't drift? I don't understand. Doesn't drift all the time.
Why would it drift?
Going on my first
Wow.
open pilot tonight
Oh,
with the wife's
vibration.
Chrysler Pacifica. Awesome. We hope you enjoy it.
Who's that?
Oops, sorry. What do you guys hope to get out of your visit to Heatsink tomorrow?
What's heat?
Good question. That's the makerspace
It's
we're going
called
to.
Heatsink?
Yeah, it's
That's
Heatsink
so
Labs.
cool.
Yeah.
What a
What do we
good
hope to
name.
get out of it? We're going to just present on what we're doing. We're going to have a mobile store for you guys. We also want to see Mesa, Arizona. Never been.
If you have any heat sinks, we'll take some heat
We're also
sinks.
trying to go see some Waymos when we're there. You know, say hi to our fellow friends.
Yeah, we're gonna track down some Waymo.
We're going to track some
Do
down.
those cars have names? Wait, I
Program. Way
thought that was a panda.
Oh, I have no idea. Somebody's complaining about the cables being untidy. I agree with
This?
Yeah, it's not the best.
Oh my gosh, see, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Well, so we're in a Hyundai, so like the giraffe sticks out this way. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
But the Hyundai drives really well.
They drive nicely.
Hyundai's the best.
Yeah. Whoa, that was trippy on this. Oh my gosh. Something's happening. Okay.
What's happening?
Sorry. It's freaking out.
Oh my god, it's fighting back. Someone hacked our DJI stabilizer.
It's from DJI.
I think it is, right?
Like, okay,
I guess that makes
if I
sense.
let it go, it's gonna go crazy.
It's a big D
Right.
there.
Well, if you can fight it, just turn it off and on again.
Okay, so I guess I just.
Well,
have to
sometimes it
hold
changes
like
into
this.
joystick mode where you can pan and stuff.
Okay.
Oh, we're braking. What else?
Yeah, what else is going on?
What does anyone have any dinner recommendations on the way to Mesa?
Mesa. Oh, Oh shoot! I just flipped the camera. This is so terrible. I'm sorry. And I don't.
What's happening?
I don't know. I have to switch it back. Can't do this.
We're in some LA traffic.
We've hit technical problems.
Yeah, we've hit technical problems.
How
Why
many
are you filming
subscribers?
me?
I'm just trying to reflip the.
We need like one of those.
Okay.
We've experienced technical problems. Our monkeys are working on.
Well, what's the problem is that this stabilizer no longer works.
It just died.
I've like literally lost like half the viewers. I'm just gonna have to hold it because that was like really ridiculous.
Can I
Yeah, you can figure it out.
mess around with the?
We have 34. We had 45.
Jeez.
45.
We had
What's
45.
going on,
Yeah.
people? I don't know. We don't have many other announcements. We're cruising.
Cruising. We saw a cool car today. There was a guy who had like a sick
Yeah.
Prius, old color, the advertising comma.ai open source. It was great.
Chris on Slack. Right?
Chris on Slack, right?
This
forget
car
his
is also
username.
amazing because we have like a full moonroof back here.
This
It's
is a
just
Hyundai
cool-
Santa Fe.
Yeah, it's such a good
It's
car.
Hyundai.
A Hyundai.
Hyundai.
Oh, we played the
Hyundai.
alphabet game and I won. But we can.
That was luck.
That was
Yeah,
not
there's
luck.
this game where you try and find the letter of the next letter in the alphabet. I didn't describe it well, but you find words that
It probably
start
has
with
an
the next
official
letter.
name. The car alphabet game.
The car alphabet.
If we sold vinyl, yeah, we should sell decals because people would put them on their car and then that helped.
We
Like,
should, yeah.
We had
Chris's
magnets
car
for a
was
little, right?
decked out. It was amazing. Yeah, we did have magnets.
Oh, the alphabet game has a Wikipedia page.
Really? It's just called Alphabet Game?
It's called the alphabet game. Is a car game played to amuse travelers on long car rides.
Nice.
What software version is on the one we're driving?
7. 0.5.7.
Nice.
Yeah, it's already developed.
Yeah, we got 057 in the bell.
Should we do a comma AMA?
Yeah, I mean, you can always AMA.
This
You
is
can
an
always
AMA.
AMA. Yeah,
AMA,
yeah, yeah.
whatever you want, guys.
I don't put any kind of sticker on my car, but I would totally put a comma sticker. Nice.
Oh, wow.
That's a compliment.
Nice.
Secret good version. Always.
How about a
secret.
comma magnet?
Yeah, we have some of those. We should put them up for sale.
You know? You can put a sticker on your laptop or your phone.
Oh, is today Monday? No, today's Saturday.
Saturday. Why? What's happening on Monday?
Orders ship out Saturday. Monday, last day.
Yeah, that's our last day of shipping. If you want something before Christmas, order it today.
Someone asked,
Or
how's the
tomorrow.
mapping going? Is that a band question?
No, mapping is okay. Good question
Yeah.
to ask.
It's okay.
Mapping's okay. How's mapping
It's
going
okay.
for you?
It's gathering, yeah. Understanding what we want from maps is really the first question. It's not obvious. Like there is really
Yeah.
everybody talks about HD maps. Like if there was like a clear definition of what HD maps are, it's clear how you define low resolution maps. So like Google Maps, Apple Maps, they all do the same thing, right? It's clear what information you want from them.
Right.
The HD map is not obvious. Like it really depends on which kind of use you want to do with them. And so we're really like trying to understand what's going to be useful for openpilot, like right. So
Yeah.
and so that's I would say the main effort. Once we're clear with that, then we have the data. We just have to do it.
Is this latest version on GitHub of openpilot?
Yeah.
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 Devel.
in develop.
So you have to switch to Devel branch if you want to be like a Devel, like an early tester.
Yay, thank you for coming to the meetup in Burbank. We had fun. Burbank's a cool place. Except for I was told that it's not cool to say Burbank's cool.
Really?
Yeah, my cousin said that.
We got donuts in Burbank.
Yeah, we did.
It's good. And whole milk. It was okay.
Yeah, whole
Yeah,
milk was
The
weird.
donut was okay. Milk is good. I don't know. But like not all the time. Sometimes.
You're supposed to stop
mine was
drinking
there.
milk every 3 p.m.
Oh jeez, all my texts come up on here? That's so sketchy.
That is so sketchy. It is
Oh
actually
my
really
god. I don't want that. Apple CarPlay sucks. It's pretty
Eddie,
bad.
let us all read your text. Are we going to check out Tempe?
Oh my God.
Maybe. We're getting in at like 11 p.m.
So
So
annoying.
we got to figure out.
Who's Tempe?
Hi,
The draft Toyota will totally be on sale at the Dallas tour. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll have some with us. Yeah.
And Apple CarPlay's bad. Like you can't use your phone at all. If I try and use another app,
We
the
see
map
it all.
goes away.
It's so embarrassing.
Like, and I can only use these few things. I can't use Google Maps. Like, I don't want people's
Mike
names
just
being.
texted you.
Don't tell everyone.
What's Eddie's current hardware project?
Oh my God, it's still there.
Figuring out this. Oh
Oh,
gosh.
God.
Gosh, that's what you listen to? Oh,
What is that? I don't know what that is.
So
I don't know what
embarrassing.
that is. I swear I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. What's broad shoulders?
That's awful. Was Brandon from Macrofab there?
No.
Ah, bummer.
Brandon couldn't make it. He said he lived too far.
Bummer.
But who was asking?
I was.
Okay.
I genuinely was. Not a random.
So creepy.
Don't worry, quality's so bad we can't see your stuff. Is the quality that bad? This is why we have to YouTube
Is
live
it?
it.
Well, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it should be that bad.
I mean, the internet's
Is it
just
that
kind of
bad?
crappy on the road.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just not uploading well.
Maybe, like, you don't need that good quality to really get the gist of what we're
There's
trying to
amazing
talk about.
jailbreak
you know?
CarPlay. 5 of 10. Oh, jeez. Quality goes in and out. Not that bad. Use YouTube Live.
5 out of 10.
Okay, we can switch to
But it's
YouTube
probably
Live
just
for
the
next
internet,
one.
you know? We'll do side-by-side comparison. We'll do both.
We can do that.
Yeah, we'll do YouTube Live tomorrow.
Yeah, if you want to do, like, stream the Q&A.
About the CarPlay, I said if only we knew someone that could jailbreak.
If only.
Quality is fine.
No, I was talking about this with Andrew. Like, I can't believe Apple even lets... Like, this is the only place that you can run, something from Apple on non-Apple hardware. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised they give up the experience. It's like, it's the only place they really do that.
The next option
They
They
is
don't
Mesa,
control how it
Arizona.
works, and, like, it's not good.
But it's kind of important,
Yeah,
right?
but like,
The experience is so much better.
But I'd rather have a good phone mount that, like, just went there
Really?
than any kind of CarPlay. The screen is, like, barely bigger than mine.
I love Android Auto.
Android Auto seems better because you can, like, switch between apps, but, like,
Yeah, it's also more open.
Cool.
I don't know. I'd rather just a good mount,
yeah, I just use the phone.
right?
Yeah, I've never used
It's like
that.
no point in the. I can only use Apple Maps, and like all my music is being displayed to people. We listened to a good podcast yesterday by Lex Friedman.
Lex Friedman, great guy.
Pretty cool.
Did you figure it out, Harold?
No, but I did realize you can spin it. It's pretty fun, though.
Yeah, it has different modes.
You can like spin it. It's kind of fun. I think it's good exercise.
Seems like unstable.
That's super unstable. Let's put the scopies in that. How rude.
Oh god. What else is going on? We got 4 hours and 44 minutes
Nice.
to the table. Table City.
It's pretty easy. Just going south.
Yeah. Speed limit. Apple says 55. We say 65.
Who's right?
Shoot.
Who's right?
I don't know.
Let's check. Who's right?
65
Wait,
seems
look,
right.
I
We're
haven't
on a
seen a
divided
First one to
highway.
find it wins. Alphabet game, go.
Now it's 3 lanes. It's got to be 65. Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't seen a sign yet.
Let's figure out. How do we know? How do we know the truth here?
You have to look for a real sign, right? We get our data from OpenStreetMaps. There's another Chick-fil-A. Damn.
Dude, we should get a milkshake at some point tonight.
Yeah.
I guess we need to get dinner
Milkshake?
too.
Yeah.
I do love milkshakes.
Should we do an ice cream stop?
Oh, this is
Ice
fast.
cream before dinner.
Yeah, for a snack.
Dude, you're gonna ruin your appetite.
You sound like my mom.
Did we see the
How
research
about with
that
dinner? Like, don't you want Chick-fil-A too?
Huh?
Real chicken too? Oh, what's going on?
Stock Hyundai GPS, it also displays speed. We can check stock Hyundai GPS, it also displays speed limit.
We lost all of them.
We lost it all.
Oh, we lost Bob.
Yeah.
Because we're on the exit.
Look, only 300 miles. Our next interaction.
Easy.
But people are asking, we have new secret hardware we're working on. Can't tell you.
Yeah, people are asking what Eddie's doing. Eddie doesn't do anything, he just sits in the basement.
I just like come up with new names for giraffes and stuff.
And makes cool keychains.
Oh yeah, the keychains look good. If anyone out there has a
Shoot. See, this is where it gets like so bumpy and having, oh my gosh, having the stabilizer is way
should we
better.
try and get it working?
No, because it's just, you know, I don't know. I don't want to put them in and then have it spaz out again.
Passing by a historical district. I don't know what goes on in those places.
Hey, Virtually Chris, how's it going?
Yo. So angry. What else is up?
Yeah, we're in the Hyundai. It's going well. It drives super nice. And I
Sounds
just like
super
love in the back. This thing is equipped for children. Like you'll have a warning when you open the door that makes sure you know you didn't leave your child in the back seat. It's truly phenomenal. That way Riccardo can't ever
55.
leave us.
Uh-oh. And this, they both say 65 now, but it's 55.
Yeah.
Wait, it's
Well, but we switch. We're on a different highway.
Yeah. What else is going on, people?
Yeah.
Dude, they're pretty slow to talk. You guys
How many
haven't-
viewers?
We got 40.
Oh, chill.
Is that a lot?
Some.
It's some.
That's some.
It's
That's
like the 40
some.
heart, close to heart,
Thanks
you know?
for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for
I don't
tuning
know.
in.
What else do we have to say? There's snow on these mountains on the left. That's
Yeah,
pretty
snow in
crazy.
LA is pretty crazy.
I kind of want to move to LA.
Yeah.
LA seems cool.
You didn't really miss much virtually, Chris. We kind of just have been doing this the whole time.
Just been chatting about nothing.
Car's been driving this whole time.
We wanted to scope before the sun went down
Yeah,
and the
before
lighting
the
got all weird.
Let you
And then-
guys know that we're gonna look for Waymos for you. You know, we're gonna make sure they're safe. Like maybe Eddie, you can step
Yeah.
in front of one and just make sure it stops.
Well, I don't
you
know.
alright with that?
Maybe. Can't we just throw a dog?
Are
or
we gonna do
something?
some live coding in the car?
live coded?
What do you want live coded?
Yeah, that's a good.
I'll do some live coding.
Damn. sounds weird.
Yeah.
What do you want,
Jump
live
on
coding?
the opportunity.
Dude, you could do like live.
Snake. We could live code Snake.
Oh, that's fun. Do Snake in Python. So
Wait,
a lot
like
of
the game
snakes.
Snake? I had to do that for my intro to comp sci class.
really? Well,
Yeah, it was fun.
Code the next step of. That doesn't sound as fun as Snake.
Hello World in CSS.
Like right.
Well, that
Print
sounds even
hello
worse.
world.
I feel like that's someone's like college requirement
Yeah,
that they want us to do.
exactly.
They're just like, I have homework. Can you please do it for me? Code in the car. It'll be cool. And we're like on the brink of doing it. We're like, yeah. That sounds good.
I was interested at Snake.
I mean,
but-
that could be a good YouTube channel. Coding in the car.
Code
Something.
in the car. Would it be good, Eddie?
No. Now that I said it out loud, so don't make that anyone out there.
Don't make.
Do you think we can make Snake in the car?
You could make it work, you mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how to make GUIs in Python.
I thought you used like Pygame all the time. To build the
Yeah,
dill, you were
but I don't
using
have
Pygame.
that. I don't have that on my laptop.
What? Where is it?
Map integration is super awesome. Just saying.
Yeah, it slows down
Yeah, so down
for
for
curves.
Well, you will not yet.
Oh, not yet.
Will soon though.
Soon.
They're gonna put the turn.
What?
There's- Let's involve this group is like into a AI argument.
Oh yeah.
Or AI argument? What
yeah,
was it?
we can keep going with like
Oh, yeah.
the debate we had yesterday night.
Yeah.
Ask the scope is what do you guys think about consciousness and intelligence? Do you believe there can be consciousness without intelligence or intelligence without consciousness?
Yeah.
What do the
Can there
scope
be
think?
consciousness without intelligence or
Intelligence.
intelligence without consciousness?
Yeah,
It's hard to say.
So they need to go together. Like,
Are they linked?
are they linked? Do they need to be linked?
But they didn't.
What were
really
you guys saying about
They
this?
did,
I don't think they need to be linked.
No, but they didn't define consciousness in the podcast. They.
I have and you don't, and we seem like very much alike.
Yeah.
But you cannot
I
like.
don't think I could
How
ever.
do you know?
So then there's no way to prove it.
Consciousness lets
And, like,
intelligence update
You know,
itself.
the Eon gets driving data. That's an
Okay.
experience.
Consciousness less
Is that not-
intelligence update. What does that mean?
Someone wrote consciousness lets intelligence update itself.
How do you
It's an
define
update.
Consciousness update, intelligence update itself. That's what somebody said.
Yeah.
Consciousness helps. Yeah. Wait, intelligence.
Update? Like eons have experiences, right? Like they have like a route. That's what we call them. That's what their experience is.
But I suppose they have no subjective experience, right? They have no notion of self.
Why not? It
Well-
knows it's a eco and not a 1+3.
It doesn't, though.
One openpilot does. It gets flagged, right?
Okay, it knows,
Isn't that
it knows
conscious?
some arbitrary number
It has
that
some
identifies something.
Yeah, and so do you.
No, the liquid doesn't have subjective experience.
No?
No.
It doesn't it can't communicate in any way to
But how
any.
does that have to do with an experience? The communication part seems separate.
No, I mean, it doesn't know what its limitations are and what its body is, and we know that because it can't communicate that in any way.
But
Like I guess it's.
it doesn't necessarily.
What do you mean?
It just can't communicate, but it may know
Well,
its
you're
body.
saying it might have subjective experience, but we just don't know because it can't tell us.
Exactly.
Yeah, I suppose you could say that. I don't know. It just seems unlikely.
It might have a very rough form of subjective experience. Like the thing is, so clearly, like, I have subjective experience, I think. I don't know about you guys, but I assume that you guys have it too, because you seem very much like I am.
Right.
But at the same time, I conceive of things not having subjective experience and big intelligence, right? So you can create a computer, you can put together molecules and create an intelligent creature.
Somebody says the state of being awake and aware of one's surroundings. Yeah, I don't know. It has to be more strict than that, right?
Like the point is, should we ever feel bad about how we treat computers?
Yeah.
This is like, what do you guys think? Should we ever feel bad on how we treat computers?
Killing robots, yeah or nay?
Yeah.
Killing robots?
Killing a robot is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, killing a robot, treating it badly, or like, I don't know. Yeah. Even dignity. Will robot even have a dignity that we have to care about?
Yeah. the best from the podcast was how who was it? Max, the professor, or was it Lex that was saying you didn't want to be carbon chauvinistic, which is like
such a good line.
Carbon chauvinistic is a great line, especially in the future we live in now, where like you don't necessarily need to be carbon based to be a life form or intelligence.
That's such a good line. I kept saying that, like, I'm not a carbon chauvinist.
I think anything could have an experience.
Yeah.
That was his argument. I mean, like, a dog has experience, right?
A dog has experience.
Does a
yes.
fly have experience? I think so as well.
Yeah, I think so.
But does a bacteria?
Very well. Then you start to get less and less, right?
But why?
Because the form of intelligence and the complexity of the neural system gets like more.
Just because there's less
simpler.
intelligence.
Wait, but you'd say a fly has subjective experience?
Well, if it can't express, like the dog, we have some form of communication with.
They can express within each other. Even if you cannot express, it doesn't mean that you don't feel, right? You don't perceive the surrounding. Expressing yourself is not a necessary condition to be intelligent or to have subjective experience.
But that depends on how you define subjective experience, right?
Well, consciousness, right? Consciousness is subjective experience. The idea that I don't know. It's like it's very hard to define, but the idea that basically you perceive.
Well, that's the very definition of subjective. Is that it's not defined, right?
I mean, it's very hard to define, but like whatever is going on within us is something that is gonna happen to an intelligent form that we're gonna build in the future, like a computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. I mean, I was listening to some research that defined consciousness as like the ability to realize that you are one entity and the ability to understand your own perspective and realize that other entities have different perspectives, and to like kind of know that you're like this one entity with a place in the world, and that other entities have a similar subjective point of view that's different from yours.
But isn't that all part of what you could define an intelligent system? Like this, everything that it seems like we might have very good definition about intelligence, and everything that you can say about the definition of consciousness actually seems just to poorly apply to intelligence and doesn't clearly define.
Well, but this is why some researchers also claim that consciousness isn't a thing, right? Like Daniel Dennett is one of those things that says, I mean, consciousness just isn't real. Like, people should stop talking about it.
Well, maybe that makes sense, right? But then, if that's not real, why do we care about defining any ethics, right? Consciousness and the fear of hurting other people or imagining hurting other people like you could be hurt is what's making us defining like ethics, right?
Yeah. Well, but holding on to the idea of consciousness just so you can have ethics so you don't die it sounds like a I don't know if that seems logical. Like, you shouldn't hold on to consciousness just so that you can create ethics.
But like ethics wouldn't be like justified if I'm like truly convinced that other entities, probably other than me, or maybe not even me, who knows, have consciousness, right? So, like, would we ever be able to define ethics about computers or about like robots? I mean, we are, for example, like, if robots are gonna become truly intelligent like human, then they will develop probably
like new research, like the conscious experience we have.
Yeah.
No, but like the experience we experience, how it feels is pretty well defined. Like new research is showing that there's this small part of your brain that conglomerates information from other parts of your brain and creates this experience, and that if this
Eon is way better than last year. Keep going.
that's good news.
No, I was telling them that.
And that if that part of your brain fails, which is only a very small part, your body functions mostly as normal, but you lose consciousness. So that the consciousness is clearly this very small part of your brain that acts as a like he was saying in the talk, is like a CEO. It's not like consciousness is the result of your entire brain. It's the result of a very specific illusion that happens within your brain.
That conglomerates everything.
Why that can just be part? I mean, I understand, but to me it seems like that could be simply be part of intelligence. Like you need that part of your brain to actually like be able to compute and to behave better.
No, yes, I understand, but what the point is, like, you can cut out your vision system in your brain and you'll be just as conscious, and you can cut out your consciousness system and you'll be great at seeing things still, but you won't be conscious anymore.
Yeah,
like the experience of consciousness happens on a specific part of your brain, apparently.
But we also we always refer to consciousness with memory, right? Those two things seem tightly linked as well, right? Like when you're unconscious, you don't have memory of things, but things still occurred to you.
But there's a difference between you being conscious.
Down.
So, according to some research, when you are really, really drunk, it's not that you lose memory, but it's that you are not conscious.
Right.
That you lose the ability to store memories.
Right. So
but that's different, right?
Why?
I mean,
Are we using the word differently, or is it different?
But clearly there's a difference between experiencing something and forgetting it and never experiencing it at all.
But not to you, right?
No, not to you.
Awareness versus consciousness.
But it seems like different things happen then.
What did the Scopies think?
We had one person who said, we have 26. We had one person who said that they couldn't come to the heat sync labs. That's a bummer.
Oh, damn.
And then another person just said awareness versus consciousness.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we lost the gang.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, then I'm gonna drop the last thing so that we lose everybody.
Okay, good. We're ready.
What do you got?
Like, always like regarding consciousness, right? Does it make sense to think about consciousness as like a unitarian thing? Like consciousness seems like a property of an individual, but what is it really like an individual that has consciousness, or consciousness is something that is actually like spread across several like intelligent individual? Like what, like clearly, like if you lose an arm, you're still like the same person. You would say the same consciousness remains. I mean, within you. But then if you lose a certain, eventually like part of your brain, maybe you would lose consciousness. What defines like the unitarian consciousness?
This is the classic like split brain argument, right? There's like these people who they cut their brains in half, and then both their brain halves are still conscious but have no means of communication.
Well, okay, and so I mean like.
And then you have two consciousness.
Then you have two conscious brains within your brain. So were there two conscious brains to start with?
Yeah. There always are.
Well, probably there are, and you know why I'm sure that there are. Like this is something that happens in dreams. I think I told you guys already. But like sometimes, like you are in a dream and you dream about somebody telling a joke to you, and you laugh when you listen the end of the joke. But that doesn't make any sense if you think about it, right? Because you already know the joke. You're telling it to yourself.
Oh, that's so funny.
How come you get surprised about it?
Well, yeah, okay.
Which means that your brain is split into two parts.
You're definitely not consciously simulating the joke. It's simulated by a different part of your brain.
Yes.
So then
that seems reasonable.
And so I think there is one. I think consciousness probably stays in one part, and the other part acts like a counterpart.
No, yeah, this is.
But then there must be
wonderful news that you can laugh at.
There is a lot of research pointing that this is true. That this is like clear. So there's actually two specific parts that cause consciousness.
Yeah.
One in the center of every hemisphere.
Okay.
Which is why it seems that if you split your brain, you can have two fully conscious individuals inside your head.
But then there must be a third that conglomerates them.
Well, this is the interesting part. The research shows that they're completely independent and conscious, but somehow can create the illusion of cooperation.
Just sometimes one breaks
Just
out.
they individually make decisions, and the other half has the illusion that they were complicit in the decision.
No, there must be a third.
And he's like, I'm a third.
There is no third.
There's a third consciousness.
This is a fact.
It's your third eye. There you go.
You have two brain
Eddie
halves.
wants a clear chief.
Yeah.
Who is the boss here?
Must have
Well,
conscious.
one he has to rule who is the winner.
No, apparently there is none. The two hemispheres control completely different parts of your body, and the other half just rationalizes why that was a good idea.
I guess.
Like, this has been researched extensively.
Seems like aristocracy is the right way to rule things then.
But two aristocracies.
Yeah, I mean aristocracy like
Two dictatorships.
yeah, multiple people dictating
man.
stuff, all with the same rights.
But they must counterbalance each other.
And they have the illusion that they control each other.
Well, should we end it there?
I think so.
It's getting dark for them to see anyways.
Yeah.
Bye,
Sorry guys,
Scopies.
taking you on this wild ride.
No, we hope we gave you some stuff to think about. Your third consciousness is very important.
It's out there.
Maybe you can discover it, Eddie. You call it the Sample consciousness.
I'll do it.
Oh, that sounds legit too.
I'm gonna name it something more fun.
Okay, yeah, better. The back seats are super comfy. Thank you for asking. Now they're asking all the questions. It's good. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, if we go spot some Waymos, we'll show you about it.
Bye, Scopies.
Bye, Scopies. Thank you.